All right, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to start something new, movie reviews, specifically car ones. Depending upon how you like it, I'll keep it going, and maybe we'll just keep it going to like car adjacent reviews and car adjacent movies or movies that have good cars and good chases and things of that nature. But starting it off was F1. I went to go see it recently. It was pretty cool, starring Brad Pitt and Damson Idris. It was a pretty good movie. Spoiler-free review. It was pretty realistic. It had a good narrative hook with it, good story. There was a slight love interest, but that was fine because it was more about the cars, and I'm glad that they focused on the cars and F1 and the progression of that and how everything was from a struggling team, and also the techniques that they use to make sure that their drivers are at the best of their abilities and how they can improve on those abilities. So it was pretty good. I put it along the lines of maybe like Gran Turismo. You know, it's a movie based in realism and not a whole bunch of fantastical stuff, kind of like, you know, all the Fast and Furious movies and Baby Driver and things of that nature. Because that kind of, you know, this is for the fans. You know, this is for the F1 fans. You know, you had real life drivers in there. You know, Lewis Hamilton, he had his producer debut. I believe it was his debut. I'm not familiar with any other movie that he's had any kind of production credits on. So he did a great job with that. And it was funny to see him in the background, just like every now and again, just kind of looking around and just being himself and, you know, just being, you know, the multifaceted person that he is. You know, I guess you could say actor now, producer, drip lord. You know, once he got signed on with Ferrari, he just, you know, let everybody know with a crazy wardrobe. This movie is kind of dated a bit because when the movie is playing out, he's still wearing Mercedes clothing, so he's not, you know, not with Ferrari yet. So it dates it a little bit that way, but it's great, you know. So it starts off with Brad Pitt. He's kind of a guy who just loves to play his favorite game over and over again. You know, it's kind of like you buy that one game, and no matter how many times you play it, you still get the greatness out of it. It's got great replay value. That's how he is. You know, he starts off just for the love of the game. He's always like, hey, I'll find a race team that's struggling. I'll get you your first big W. After that, I'm going to help somebody else. He don't care what sport it is. As long as it's got a car and driving, he's good. So he's done, you know, Baja, flat track, Le Mans, 24-hour racing, things of that nature. And then, of course, he comes to F1. And I forget the guy's name, but the actor is Javier Bardem. Wonderful guy. I first saw him with No Country for Old Men, and then also loved his performance with James Bond, with the Daniel Craig Bonds. And that was a wonderful play off each other. Like, you know, they played old time friends and they're friendly rivals. And Javier Bardem's character, he's like, hey man, you know, I got to get this thing going. You know, I'm on this team. We're struggling right now. We got to have a Hail Mary. We got to get this thing done. And Damson Idris is like, hey man, look, I'm the best this team has right now. Every time there's a number 2 driver that comes in, they don't last very long. And what's up, old man? You're about to be another one in this revolving door. I don't care about who you are and what you got to bring. I'm the best here, and I want to keep my job. And so they have this whole little playful banter between Brad and Damson's characters of just trying to get that, you know, that buddy relationship. And it's kind of like old school tricks and new school tech. And, you know, it was a good review on that. Wonderful movie. I would suggest you go see it, especially if you are a F1 fan or if you're just a car fan in general. It's a great movie. Like I said, it really just sticks to the point of the movie, which is F1. They just say, hey, look, we're here for the cars. That's what you're here for. None of these crazy heists, none of these, you know, crazy out of nowhere love stories. So like I said, there's a little bit of one, but it's probably just for the sake of just having one. If you took it out, the movie wouldn't change at all. It would just good. I hope that we get more car-searching movies like this in the future, especially more realistic ones. I feel like the Fast and the Furious kind of lost its way after Tokyo Drift. It was kind of set in realism, and then Too Fast, Too Furious was kind of that offshoot when it became more fantastical. But after Tokyo Drift, it just went to a crazy thing, and you know they're sending cars into space and technology and nanotech and super soldiers and all that. So it's kind of nice to go back to the roots of car movies. And I know it's a small culture, it's a niche culture that they're marketing to, but if they continue to make good movies like this, we will continue to come as car people. All right, so spoiler reviews from here on out. If you don't want to hear anything about spoilers, click out now. You know, I appreciate you watching this far, but after this point, it's my review with spoilers. Okay, so they marketed this movie as like Brad Pitt's this down and out character, and he kind of is. He's living around in this little like Ford van. He's doing the whole van life thing, and he literally just like, hey, look, I'm a find a team. Y'all pay me my rate. You pay it once, and I'm done. And it was good. And when Javier Bardem, he asked Brad, hey man, look, this team is about to fire me. You know what I'm saying? We've had L after L, and you got to come over here. You got to get this car. You got to make this car right. The aerodynamics are not really right on it, but we're going to see what we can do. And he kind of goes like the old school kind of thing. It's kind of like Ford versus Ferrari. He kind of like, all right, well, we don't need all the computers just yet. Let me feel the car. Let me go old school. And he crashes it. He crashes that multi-million-dollar car after placing this cocky bet. He's like, yeah, man, I got you. I'm going to get within a second of your lap time. And he's talking about Damson Idris and his character. And he crashes it. But he's like, hey, man, you know what? We got progress in here. That wasn't an okay car. Let me get another one, and we could, we can get the kinks ironed out, and we can get it going. And Javier Bardem's like, what you mean get another one, bro? We're broke. I told you that the board is trying to fire me. We can't go off expending all these cars like this. What are you doing? So he does a good job with showing Damson Idris' character the basics of how you got to be strong. You got to want this, man. And Damson Idris is all about the fame, and he's all about the glitz and the paparazzi and the press conferences and all that. And Brad Pitt's like, man, forget all that. We ain't doing all that, bro. I'm about to get up. I'm about to get my muscle memory back. I'm about to work out. I'm gonna go run this track and see what it's like. And that's nice. I've never really done any personal track time, but I've seen people who like to walk the track or drive the track slowly just so they can get more familiarized with the track, and that helps them to see it. When they're driving, they already know what's next, and they've already seen that track close up, so they know about any kind of off-camber corners or anything like that, or they know where like the curbing is and all of that. So he does that, and I feel like it was a passing of the torch movie because Brad Pitt never really, he gets his W and everything like that, but it wasn't like he didn't need to have it, but he still just he got it. And there was a moment where Damson Idris was about to get that W, and he was young. And he was like, all right, man, look, I'm going to go do this. I know what I'm doing. And Brad's like, nah, bro, you got to wait it out. You got to wait it out because you're going to hydroplane, you're going to fly off the track. And sure enough, he does. And that moment was when he gets injured, and then Brad goes like, all right, man, I'm going to run this team for a little bit. We're going to do this. And, of course, now Damson Idris, he's all, now he's all salty about it. He's like, man, I can't believe I'm about to lose my team to this old guy and blah, blah, blah. And Brad just shows him what he's got, and he shows that he can lead the team. He shows that he can drive it, and it's like a little competition between the two because now Damson just want to make sure that he solidifies his place in this team. And then he does that, and they have like playful banner. It's like, all right, man, let Brad take the lead. No, let Damson take the lead. And of course, they got to fight it out, and they're doing all this contact, and they end up knocking themselves out of the race. Both of them out of the race because their egos and their hubris is really messing it all up. So eventually, Damson realizes that, you know what, he's right, and and they reorganize the car and all that stuff. They get the car more set for close quarters, kind of like NASCAR style. So they got the car where the car's going to shine in turbulent air. It's not going to shine on the long straights and things of that nature because that's not where they're good at. They got to be good at in the dogfight kind of thing. So that's their bread and butter. They get that done, and Damson Idris is like, okay, cool, I got you, bro. Like, you're really trying to help this team, and you're not long for it. Apparently, you're just going to get your W, and you're going to bounce out. And that's what happens, So Damson, he's like, all right, I'm going to let him have it because he really got us going. And towards the end of the movie, they're at a 1-2 finish, and Damson's like, all right, man, go ahead, get your W. And Damson, he tries to go for it, and actually, you know what? Damson he tries to get the W, and then he crashes, and then it's all on Brad. And Brad's like, hey, man, he hits this kind of Dom Toretto moment. He's like, all right, I'm flying, bro. I'm good. I'm in the zone. He's got that racer's eye, and he's just zooming in and out, and he's going. And Damson isn't even mad about it. He's like, hey, man, get your W. Now you got it. It's all good. We're teammates. And then Brad's like, all right, cool, man. I got my money. I'm out. I'm going to go do this Baja thing. Someone else is down in Mexico. They need a Baja driver. And you know what? I'm going to go see what them trucks talking about. I'm going to go jump over the sand dunes to see what's going on down there. So they bounce it out, and it's pretty good. So I would give it a good 7 out of 10 as far as rating goes. I think it's a solid movie, maybe even a 7.5 or an 8. Solid movie. It really could have been better. without them trying to force the romantic interaction between one of the engineers and Brad, I feel like they kind of just forced that in just for the sake of having it. It really had no bearing on the plot whatsoever, but it was good. So I say go see it if you can find it in your local theater. Go see it. Go check it out in IMAX. That thing is glorious. You hear me? Go check it out in IMAX. And let me know what you think in the comments. If you're already seeing it, let me know what you think about it. If that movie could have some improvements, let me know what you think about that as well. So yeah, I'll see y'all later. Remember, like, comment, share, subscribe. Appreciate y'all. Peace.